Yo, what's going on then, guys? It's your boy Ben Gregson or Dilemma here, coming at you with another YouTube video. And as you can see on the screen, I bumped into Gabriel Vargas on DB Ranked. So for those of you guys who don't know who Gabriel Vargas is, he's a national champion. He's been at Worlds twice, top 18 at Worlds. He's won a YCS, and I've topped a couple of regionals. So we've got a challenge in front of us, but as our great savior said, penned best deck. We're playing Zefra today. I got home from my night shift and was like, you know what, I'm going to play a game of Rated before I go to sleep. And this is the big boss himself. So we're going to see our opening hands. And we have Poly, Fusion Destiny, Faris, Mali, Forbidden Chalice. Forbidden Chalice going second, Mali, Faris, this is full combo. Versus Pilica, Prosperity, Zefra, Providence, and Wendy. So I'm going to activate Providence and go with Oracle. So I'm going to do the Oracle line before I Prosperity. If I get hand trapped, I can Prosperity afterwards and dig. So we're going to Oracle for we're going to Providence for Oracle. Nobody's main deck control, so we can play around it that way. Search Zefraxi off of our Oracle. Pen scale to Zefrath. Zefrath's going to send Zefra new, and then we're going to Pendulum summon Raxi and new. Activate the effect of Raxi and new, so this will become a tuner. This will be able to search as for the counter trap. We're then going to turn these two guys into Croc, make Croc Chainlink 1, Oracle Chainlink 2, grab ourselves a Cyberstone, and then we're going to activate the effect of Cyberstone to summon Exterio, link the other two into IP Masquerena, set Zefra Divine Strike, and for all intents and purposes against Gabe hands, this game is sealed. So I've won game 1, and you'll see in the chat box, he's like, oh, that draw combo is nice, and I'm like, it just searches dumb Floodgate monsters, which is true. Sorry, just sorting out my stream a sec. Now, when I said this, I wasn't actually sorting out my stream. In fact, I was freaking out because I won game 1. And I'd spilt my drink over my computer desk. So I had to quickly get that cleaned up, you know, always got to get yourself cleaned up. And we're moving into game 2. Now, obviously, game 2 with Zefra against the Dark Law deck, or the Hero deck, is going to be tough, but this deck can go second, especially with a hand that has Zefra War. So in Gabe's hand, we're going to see a Hero Lives, so this seems like it should be full combo. I'm not too sure what the Hero deck's supposed to do nowadays, but Gabe shows it off perfectly here. A Hero Lives, Droll, Shadow Mist, Miracle Fusion, and Droll. This is a one-off that they search throughout the combo, so this probably sucks to draw, but it's not bad. Gonna take a sip of water, 2 seconds. Gotta stay hydrated. And our hand is Zefra Naga, Oracle, Zefra Wendy, Zefra War, Zefra. So, entirely undependent on what Gabe does, I think we can actually play through his board. He was waiting in draw phase for ages, and I was like, oh, he's just playing branded, bro. And then he goes, a Hero Lives for Strides, and I'm like, okay, we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! He goes, Faris, discard Shadow Mist. He does declare Shadow Mist here, but then he was like, oh no, I won't use Shadow Mist. I'm like, it's totally fine, this is DB rated, I don't really care. He goes Summon Increase, Summon Vion. Vion send Mali, banish Stratos, add Poly. Then he's going to turn the other two guys into Cross Crusader, use Cross Crusader to bring back the Mali. Then Mali tribute the Cross Crusader to add Liquid. And then he's going to normal summon Liquid, bring back Shadow Mist and grab his Mass Change. So what he does here is he actually leaves this Liquid Soldier on board with the Mass Change, because he knows that Acid killing my Pendulum Scales is probably going to win in the game. Dark Claw doesn't do that much against Pendulum, but a well-timed Acid is absolutely ridiculous. So Miracle Fusion's going to summon him a Squirtle. He's going to want to drive a step out the Miracle Fusion, and then poly away the two guys for Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. Yes, you do not have to make Bertie Anaconda to summon Phoenix Enforcer. In fact, you don't even need Fusion Destiny, you just need poly and some hero cards. So we draw for turn, we draw Divine Strike, so I know if I break the board, I'm probably going to win. We go Oracle. He thinks about the Oracle for a bit. I'm like, cool, that's fine, we'll search Zefrath. So we do have 2 corresponding scales and 2 other corresponding scales, which means if we get Acid wiped, we're still fine. So we get trolled. I'm like, that's totally fine, I'm not going to search anymore anyway. We're going to go scale Zefrath. Zefrath sends Zefraxi. The reason we do Zefrath first is because it makes it a lot less appealing to just Acid me. We're going to scale the Zefra Wendy. Now we're going to get Acided. Acid is going to wipe our field. And in response to the Acid and the Wonder Driver, we're going to chain War, target Wrath, and Phoenix Enforcer. This deals with the Phoenix Enforcer, so the rest of his board has like 0 interruptions. So we're going to scale Zefra Naga and the Zefra New, and then I Pendulum Summon the Wendy, and then activate the effect, and I'm like, no, that's not the correct thing to do. So I accidentally add this back to my hand. I'm like, oh, dude, is it okay if I just like Pendulum Summon these two guys? He's totally fine with it. And then I go Wendy to add back Wrath, and then Nui to make Wendy a... Sorry, Raxi add back Wrath, Raxi make Wendy a tuner. Make Horus, use the effect of Horus. Now, if he gives me the Wonder Driver, there's several lines where I can go like, Liner into Access Code, and then do some other stuff. If he gives me Acid, I'm still in the same position. And if he gives me Faris, we're still in the same position. He just gives me the smallest monster, which, like, if you don't know what Horus does, I can't actually attack with the monster he gives me. But that's not what we're using this monster for. So even though the Faris is level 5, we can still use it as XYZ material to summon Sheridan. Then we're going to activate Sheridan Detach Material to kill the Masked Hero Acid. And then we're going to detach another material to summon back the Masked Hero Acid. Then we're going to turn these two into Dark the Dark Charmer. Dark the Dark Charmer is going to bring back DPE. And with that sequence, we have somehow won the game. And I ask him afterwards, I'm like, would it be okay for me to upload? And he's totally fine with it. A massive thank you to Gabe for letting me upload this. This is how Zefra goes second, and by God, if we're in a mid-range format, this deck is in so good of a position right now, especially with Zefra Path being so solid against the, what's the deck called? Sword Soul. We can go through our deck with Oracle Croc to get to Planet Pathfinder, which either gets us to Zombie World or Oracle. And it's also good for Small World Bridges. We can Small World Bridge into Cyberstein if our hand's bad, or we can Small World Bridge into Cyberstein or Oracle into Cyberstein, and Exterio just literally kills the entirety of the Despia deck because they're on like Allures and like no going second cards. So you can literally just like Exterio lock them out of the game, and it's so free. And in a format where people aren't hand trapping you as heavily, granted people are siding Droll, but there's stuff in the extra in the side which prep me for Droll, which I'll go over in a deck profile at some point. But this deck is in such a good position right now. And yeah, I'm super happy. Anyway, a big thank you to Gabe Vargas for letting me post this. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description, probably, if I remember. I'm really tired, but if I don't remember, remind me in the comments down below. You all know who he is. Just type in Gabe Vargas on YouTube, his YouTube will come up. It's been your boy, Ben Gregson, or Dilemma YGO. Lots of love, and peace.